Welcome to the Moon Manifesting Podcast with Kyra Howearth. Hi, I'm Kyra, business astrologer, moon manifesting mama, author, teacher, and mentor. I teach you how to harness the energy of the moon, stars, and cosmos so you can manifest your dreams and discover a deeper purpose to your life. Welcome back to the Moon Manifesting Podcast. Today, I want to start off with a very special, hopefully regular segment that I have started with my friend Sasha at the Pagan Homemaker. She has already been on the podcast a few times, and I'm sure that a lot of the listeners here on the Moon Manifesting Podcast are quite familiar with Sasha. I know that we have a lot of shared audience. So we had this idea about doing these monthly manifesting mama chats where we come together and chat a bit about the astrology of what's to come for the astrological season ahead and how that can affect your manifestations and parenting. So, hey, Sasha, welcome.
Hey, I'm excited for this. I think this is a really cool idea. So yeah, let's lock this in monthly and see how we go.
I was just so excited when you asked me about doing this segment. I thought, like this feels so aligned. And also Sasha has her newborn baby, Remy, with us today. So if you hear any baby noises in the background, that's Remy. And if you're watching on video, you can see some cute little baby. Oh my God, he's so adorable. Just those little cheeks.
He's getting pretty cute. And I'm obsessed with his hair. I'm just obsessed with his hair. So if you're on Spotify or Apple, just leave that and go to YouTube and check out my cute baby. You might also see my boobs. I'm trying to be a bit, modest, but there's only so much one can do. My breastfeeding can get it. It's fine.
But I'm sure most people who are here have already been exposed to Sasha and like probably seen her birth videos and all that sort of thing. Like literally. And that's just you.
And you're wearing like your makeup is beautiful, and I'm just like, oh, I'm in front of a computer and I'm ready to do this, and here's my baby and here's my boobs, and this is the season we're in.
Embrace it though. It's wonderful.
And it is perfect for Libra too, in a way, because Libra is about those one-on-one connections, and that's just the season that I'm in at the moment. It's been very quiet over here in my universe, because I have a new baby that I have to bond with and I have to spend my time with, and I'm reevaluating my relationships with my older children, and we're all navigating that challenge. And I'm kind of excited to see, we're recording this in Virgo season, and it's all about health and daily routines, and that's been a huge focus in my household. And so I'm excited to move into Libra where we're not so focused on that. Hopefully I'll have all of those ducks in a row when we get to Libra season, and I can focus on the much more important work of building those relationships and doing that within my family dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely. I really love how the astrological sun seasons, how they kind of build on one another too. It's like Virgo season, we're focused on creating those routines, that structure, those habits. And once we have like all our health and wellness quite grounded and settled, then we have more energy to give to others, where we focus on those relationships and giving support in Libra season. That's pretty much what we're talking about today too, is Libra season, in case you haven't already figured that out. So let's start off by chatting a bit about what is Libra season, how to work with this energy. So Sasha, do you want to start off with a bit about Libra season?
The first thing I think of when I think of Libra season is that one-on-one relationship. But really, I think it comes back to, because we're looking at an air sign, it is cardinal air. So we are starting things, we are talking about it, we are in that more cerebral space where we are prone to overthinking as well. We're doing that planning. And did I say already it's Venus ruled? Already, like I'm forgetting what I just said. This is mum brain for you. But working within that, yeah, that cardinal air energy. It's every time we hit a cardinal sign, it's a chance for a fresh start, I think, because we're back in that ability to be in the planning stages and do that. But I do think that the word that's sticking with me is overthinking at the moment when it comes to this particular Libra season we're coming up against. And that's because we've got the nodes, the lunar nodes in the signs of, pardon me, Libra and Aries. So the south node is in Libra, and the south node is our node of past karma and the places we feel comfortable. And so, you know, we're moving forward and we're on this axis collectively, but this is our comfort zone. But astrologically, we're being called beyond this, past this, out of this, and it's uncomfortable. And so we're going to be overthinking. And this is why, I mean, when you're living an astrological life and you're living in, you know, in alignment with the sun seasons, the lunar phases, everything else, you know, I am being very deliberate about getting my Virgo ducks in a row, making sure my health is being taken care of, making sure some of those daily routines and weekly structures are organized. So we move into this space where this is going to be activated for us. We're going to be activated by this south node of past karma. And there's an eclipse coming up in Libra season that we are ready and we have those basic needs met. I've just like gone on a massive little tangent there, haven't I? What does
No,
Libra season mean to me?
But that's perfect. That's so good though, because you've really touched on a lot of the key points of, yeah, well, like specifically what's coming up for this Libra season as well. Because I agree that with the nodes, with the south node in Libra, like it's not going to be like Libra season last year, for example.
No,
like
no, it's not. It can't
yeah,
be. I mean, partly like you're talking about how these seasons build on each other, and as the thing that came to mind for me was I'm an ex-teacher with spiral curriculum. How as you go around, you keep adding, but it builds on itself as you go around. So you gain some knowledge here, and you keep going around, and then you add to that knowledge next time you come around, and it does that. And so every step we take forward is a step up the spiral, but eventually we spiral back on the same idea, and that's us coming on to these sun seasons. So we will come back to Libra season, and we will have learnt things last Libra season to integrate and implement for this Libra season, but we've also had the whole other year as well coming back to that, and everything else in the sky is constantly moving too. But it's these nodes. My life has become very, very guided by the nodes, personally and in business, massively in business, massively. And so I see this upcoming season, it's a huge chance, because we won't have, like, the nodes will be out of Libra next Libra season as well. This is a huge chance for us to really put the less, you know, those parts of Libra that we are trying to evolve out of as a collective, to put them behind us. Like, here's our opportunity. This is the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
No pressure.
So yeah. So let's chat a bit about Libra season and working with this energy with parenting, because obviously we're mums, and I feel like this is definitely something that I don't talk enough about on the Moon Manifesting podcast, and that's kind of why I was like really excited about your idea to to talk a bit more about, like, the motherhood side of things. So you've already touched on like using Libra season as an opportunity to connect with your kids in like more one-on-one settings, and like you mentioned reevaluating your relationships with your kids as well. What else comes to mind when you're thinking about Libra season and parenting?
Harmony and peace and justice, like those real core Libra themes.
Yeah, definitely.
How can you, and this is again working, if you're working and living an aligned astrological life, this is the time for you to look at what in our family household isn't harmonious, what isn't working for us, what do I need to do, what is my ideal, how would this look if everything could be the way I want it to be, and doing that as a family. So do you sit down for dinner every night as a family, or do you all sit on the couch watching television? And which one would you want to do? When you're living astrologically, you can make the changes with more ease. So if you are one of those, and there's no judgment at all, I still will watch eat my dinner in front of the telly if I get an opportunity to. But if it's not aligned with your family goals, you know, sitting and watching the TV while you eat dinner, this is the time to change that, to bring that in. As well as all the stuff around like reparenting. You know, our generation has been kind of had it shoved in our face, all the generational trauma, like we're much more aware of this and the ways that our parents parented that we absolutely do not want to parent, and all that kind of reparenting stuff. Any of those changes you're working on making, this is a good time for that. So if you are analyzing, you know, don't want to yell at my kids, or I think I'm an angry mom, or you know, it could be anything. We've all got things as parents that we think we're shit at. And so this is the time to go, okay, what does not feel good? What do I not like? And how would I like to be? And because, like, looking at I've just checked the new moon eclipse is like right in the middle of the season. It's on the 15th, or it's middle late in the season. So we've kind of got the first half of Libra season to do a lot of that as the moon is waning. Do a lot of that, like, okay, what don't I like? Doing the reflecting, doing the reviewing, doing some journaling, doing a little bit of researching. I think I'm like, so what is it that I don't like? What harmony is lacking? What doesn't feel peaceful? You know, I've got twins and they are fighting a lot at the moment. What sense of justice are they experiencing or not at this time? And then being able to have really clear intentions to set for that new moon eclipse, for your family, for your harmony, for your household, as well as if you've got more than one kid, finding time to spend that time one-on-one. I think, and you would agree, I'm sure, that when you've got more than one kid, having dedicated time with one kid is really hard.
Yeah,
I have twins again. It's harder. Like, when am I going to kick one twin out so I can have time with just one twin? And now I have this new baby. Finding the time to have one-on-one time with each child, ideally weekly. I think it could be a new moon intention everyone could be setting. This new moon is like, I want to spend half an hour, whatever it is, have a little mini date with your mini me's once a week. From here till eternity. This is the kind of intention that this season is primed. Is primed for.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And interestingly, my husband's gone camping overnight, and he asked the kids, like, who wants to come camping? And he ended up just taking one of the kids. And I was like, oh, you know, that kid's going to be a bit bored, a bit lonely. But then I've realized this is actually such a great bonding opportunity for, you know, father-son relationship.
I'm so glad you brought fathers into this, because we're mums.
Yeah.
This is from we're home with our kids all day, every day. We do spend a lot of time with all of our children. We don't get the one-on-one time because we don't get the breakaway, but our partners, our husbands, get even less of that time with our families. So that can be another intention. You know, with Remy at the age that he is at the moment, like, there's not really an opportunity for my husband to spend one-on-one time with him, but I can't think of a time my husband has just had one of my daughters by himself.
Yeah. And being twins, it's probably a bit harder because it's kind
and
of like, you know.
it adds a bit of complication to the thing. They were never alone. But yeah, I'm just having that reflection now. When has my husband ever spent time with just one deliberate time? Not that kid's over there and this kid's working with me now, but like, just having a lunch date with one child. I don't think it's ever happened, and they're 3.
Yeah. So could be an intention for our husbands, partners to set
even for us to set, to cultivate that time for them as well, you know, taking
true.
that little sacrifice, because I do think there is a huge element of sacrifice in Libra, and I think we're going to get this. But taking the sacrifice, like, I will take, in your case, I will deliberately have these other 3 kids so my husband can have this one, and we're going to build those structures in, even if it's, you know, with your 4 kids, maybe it's one a week. This week he can have this kid, and this week he can have this kid, and this week he can have, you know, and then you can swap, and it's like, okay, this is kid 1's week. We get an hour with me and an hour. I don't know, you could structure it.
No, this actually feels really this feels really exciting, because like already in my head I'm like, I have 4 kids, there's 4 weeks in Libra season.
And there's like 4.5. Well, there's like kind of 4 and a bit weeks. So you've always got that bit of like an extra little bit to like, shit, I haven't spent any
Yeah.
one-on-one time with kid 3. Got to get it done. Like,
Yeah. Or that half week's just like one-on-one time with the husband. Like, yeah,
or
you
it's
get
just
half a
one-on-one
week.
time with yourself.
Yeah, that too. That too. So the other thing that we haven't really touched on with Libra season is balance. To me, one
Mm,
of the key themes of Libra season is about finding balance. I feel like Virgo season, we get like really highly structured and like really into like our, great dietary changes and fitness regimes and, all those things. And you can go really hard at these things,
spring
but then,
cleaning.
and spring cleaning. And then Libra season is kind of like, hey, you can take a step back. You can find a bit of balance. Like you don't have to be healthy all
Yes.
the time. You can have that little treat of chocolate or
Venus
whatever.
just comes in and sabotages a lot is what I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
exactly. Like that's so it. And I feel like talking about like the one-on-one time with kids as well, like that helps to balance out the dynamics of the household as well in a way.
Mm-mm.
Because when
Particularly
they're
when talking
getting that,
about partners having the one-on-one time as well and spending time with the
yeah,
children and you having some solo time as well, like
that's
that
balance.
that's balance. And that contributes to harmony within the household because, and it's not the same for all households, but and we know it's the case for ours that when we get the time we need, when we put our oxygen mask on first, everything else in the house goes better.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
that's
we're
it.
doing the majority of everything all the time. Just the nature
Yes.
is our relationships in our households. But that's where that comes in. And so part of that balance, I think, is that indulgence. It's
Yeah.
Libra season. I mean, when I think of Libra season, I think of like bougie handbags and face masks and you know, girls' nights.
Yeah.
I think of hot baths and glasses of champagne and uh, expensive bath bomb and like the classy moisturizer that smells like roses.
Yeah.
There's a huge level of indulgence in Libra season as well, and you can capture that for ourselves. Like as mothers, we need this. Like here's an opportunity. When are you going to schedule that bath or
Yeah.
baths
Yeah,
or a trip to
exactly.
the spa um, as part of that time? Because there is that indulgent quality to it.
There is definitely like Libra season is definitely like the self-love, self-care season where
Mm-hmm.
we do need to, start to put our needs in front of others. Like, yes, Libra season is about supporting others and helping other people and all that sort of energy. But at the same time, like there's got to be that balance. Like we can't
Mm.
give all of our energy to everyone else. We've got to be able to bring some of that energy back towards ourselves.
And that's the challenge with balance, whether it's dietary, whether it's family life, whether it's self-care, whatever it is. Because we know that there's a huge, like in all of everywhere these days, but like self-care isn't just going to the spa. Self-care is little things you do every single day, which kind of brings us back to Virgo season, the little things you do every single day. Like I've been talking about in my universe, me taking my pills and vitamins in postpartum. There's stupid little things I do for my stupid little mental health, but it helps me keep me at a certain level. I know I won't bottom out below that. How do we maintain that through Libra season and then, add to it? And if that's where you're at, that's fine. Like this is the sort of thing, maybe this is the little bit of self-care you're doing for yourself. It's not about weekly baths or monthly trips to the spa. It's about, I know plenty of mums who are not washing their face or brushing their teeth in the morning. That level of self-care, like literally caring for self, not indulging so much in self, but caring for self.
Yeah. Yeah,
I haven't brushed my
definitely.
teeth or washed my face today.
Yeah. And it's hard when you have a newborn baby. Like, it's hard to do those little things for yourself sometimes.
Oh,
It can
it's
be a
hard when you've
struggle.
got 3-year-olds to do these things.
Yeah, that's true too.
It's hard when you've got 13-year-olds to do these things.
Yeah.
I can kind of put him down and just ignore him for a couple of minutes while I brush my teeth. It's probably harder for 3-year-olds who won't let
Yeah.
me just brush my teeth.
Yeah. Yeah,
Those
true.
kind of self-care things, like we can talk about the big grand things in Libra season. And you should absolutely do the big grand things too. But what are the little things you're doing
Hmm.
um, that are those true self-care? Maybe for you, it's pulling a tarot card every day. Maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe it's a 15-minute morning yoga practice. Maybe it's going for a walk. The weather's beautiful at the moment. Like Libra season is some of the best weather.
Yeah.
You know, how are you indulging in that? Maybe it's set the bar low and it's brush your teeth every day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
set the
absolutely.
bar. I don't care how
Yeah.
low you set it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's those little things, like even if it does seem little, like just brushing your teeth every day, like it doesn't seem like a huge thing, but it's these little things that add up. And by the end of Libra season, like, you'll be feeling so much better. Your cup will be so much fuller by taking those little steps towards your self-care.
That's exactly right. Um,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the chart and for the eclipse, and it is going to be challenging. And this is why we have these lessons. This is why the nodes keep traveling around and giving us these lessons. Because one, how else do we learn? Like lessons is how we learn. But so while we're talking about Libra season and the South Node in Libra, the North Node is in Aries, which is kind of where we're striving for as a collective. And there's a newness and a freshness to that because it's Aries, it's the first sign of the zodiac. But what I noticed is that the North Node in Aries is conjunct Chiron, who is our wounded healer in retrograde. And I can just see this making it even harder for us. And this is an opposition, right? This is an opposition to where the sun is transiting this season, and particularly for this eclipse. This is that opposition that adds the challenge, but that's the lesson that needs to be learned.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk
yeah.
more about what you think of when you think of like Chiron retrograde conjunct the North Node in Aries?
Yeah. Yeah. So I will probably do like a whole episode about this particular new
Yes,
moon
I'm keen
eclipse
for that.
in Libra, but yeah, like I'm really excited for what this new moon will bring, because there is that intense healing energy. I'm always excited for new moons, and especially when it's an eclipse as well, because it's like
Oh, I'm
bam.
glad you're doing an episode just on that then. I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, but definitely like with the Chiron and the nodes in this eclipse as well, there's this real sense of like challenge and healing. Like it's really going to force us to step out of our comfort zones within our healing path. So whatever is coming up for healing for you with this new moon, or well, even throughout Libra season, because
And that's what I was
yeah,
thinking, more like throughout Libra season, because Chiron and the
yeah,
North Node aren't moving very fast.
that's
The
right.
entirety of this Libra season, those are opposite the South Node in Libra. Like the other thing that's in Libra for all of Libra season is the South Node in Libra. It's not going away. This is collected for 18 months. But while we're in Libra season, working out what we need to fill our cup and how we want to bring harmony into our lives, Chiron is there in opposition, in retrograde, challenging us to go, like, what are the hang-ups I have? What are the limiting beliefs that I have? In what ways do I not think I'm worthy? What wounds do I need to heal? Which wound, mother wound, sister wound, whatever it is, in order to actually do the things that fill my cup without the guilt.
Yeah.
There's like a whole opportunity for us to talk about mum guilt here. I think there's a massive, massive. I mean, there's mum guilt in all of our lives. I was talking to someone about this the other day about, my retreats and mum guilt and not being able to take that time and everything else. But why is that? And this Libra season is a real opportunity for you to analyze that, because you're going to be feeling it regardless.
Yeah.
It's going to be there. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be quite front and center.
Yeah. And the other thing, like with this Chiron energy as well, with Chiron being in Aries opposite all this energy that's happening in Libra, I feel like with our healing path, the message that's coming up here is that we don't have to do it alone. Libra season is all about like reaching out for support when you need it. So, if it's physical health that you're needing help with, like, find a medical professional that can help you, or a health professional. If it's business help that you're needing with, find a business mentor. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, or that's wounding you that needs healing in your life, find someone who can support you.
Even just like the download that hit me then was misery loves company. Even if you
Yeah.
just need to cry with someone else,
Yeah.
like do it. Just don't be alone, okay? Don't be alone in
Yeah.
Libra season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Invite
Exactly.
that girlfriend, other mum friend over, and I have done this recently, and I will do this, I'm sure, lots more through Libra season. But invite that other mum friend around and the kids can all play together or all sit in front of the telly together, and you can crack a bottle of wine and talk and cry and just share with each other the shit bits if you need
Yeah.
to, or share the highs. Like, just don't do it alone.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
meant to go at any of this alone. And this is where we could start talking about community and revillaging and all the opportunities we have for this, and how it is challenging, and it will be challenging, and it won't always go to plan, but nothing in life ever does. You have to keep pushing through, and we're not meant to do this alone.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Keep pushing, keep fighting for your community, because really you're fighting for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. So we've touched on, I think, almost everything that we wanted to talk about in today's episode, except for manifesting, and like business sort of things, which, like, we're both mumpreneurs. I'm sure that a lot of the listeners on the Moon Manifesting podcast are also business minded, entrepreneurial type people. And if you're not, well, maybe you'll also get some manifestation tips from this anyway.
Or else you're just
Because
sitting there on YouTube watching my adorable baby sleep against my chest. Like, maybe that's all you're getting out of this, and that's cool too.
that's totally cool too. But something that me and Sasha have been doing, and admittedly we've been doing this throughout Virgo season, but
Because we were building the structures.
yeah, well, building those daily habits, is that we kind of teamed up to be accountability buddies. And we were setting goals for ourselves, and we would hold each other accountable to manifest those goals, to take those actions, to do the things that we needed to do. And that's actually been working so well. And I was like, hey, we need to talk about this on the
Yes, we
podcast.
do. It's such a Libra season thing.
It
And as you said,
is.
like working with someone, whether it's health, whether it's mum life, whether it's business, how can you work with someone else to do a thing?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm a big believer that for accountability, like, you see like, oh, be my accountability buddy, and neither of you do it. You have to have that intrinsic drive first. Having someone else to do it with, I think this is partly like both of us being Geminis, like we are deadline driven, we are quite externally referenced. If someone else is like, hey, you said you would do this thing and you didn't, like
Yeah.
that it works for us. But this is that opportunity, yeah, in Libra season to really, whether it's formalize that, like if you've been looking at working with a coach, doing that. But yeah, I've really been enjoying this. So should we say what we've been doing? We've been kind of
Yeah.
setting, just at the beginning of every week, we've kind of been going, all right, what do you want to achieve this week? What are your goals? And then kind of checking in with our to-do list every day, whether
Yeah.
it's got 2 things in it or 10 things in it. I think we've kind of kept it 5 to 6, because I know my point now, my capacity is like, I'm trying to bottom off the screen down
Yeah.
here. I haven't actually done this for a week because we had a big weekend last weekend, traveling to
Yeah.
Adelaide.
And I've been sick all week as
And you've
well.
been
So
sick, and I've been run down, just like getting back into trying to rebuild those habits.
and it was the waning moon too. It was the dark moon. It
Oh,
was like we needed this time off. So it
yeah.
was good. It was like we're kind of accountable for resting.
Speaking like from a moon manifesting perspective, this is, that was the time to be doing sweet fuck all.
Yeah.
But setting and then checking in with those things, and it was really helpful. If whoever kind of checked in around dinner time, like, oh, what's still in your to-do list? What was still on my to-do list? Because I would screenshot our list. What did I put on my list? I voice noted you. But checking in those lists and going, oh, I didn't post to social media today, or I wanted to sit on my computer and do XYZ, and going, oh, I still have a couple of hours left in my day, I can still do this, or that's okay, it's going to roll over tomorrow. Or even like there were times when my to-do list would say, like, go and get the mail,
Yeah.
which I live in a really small country town. The mail doesn't come to my house. I have to go and get it. But
Yeah.
just you can put your ta-das on the list as well. You know, this is something that I will do anyway, but let's put it on the list so I can tick it off.
Yeah, exactly. And like, it doesn't have to be like huge goals. You
Mm.
can set the bar however high, although you want it, like Sasha's already said.
Just set the bar.
Yeah, that's right. And like, the really cool thing about having an accountability buddy is that, like, once you kind of put it out there and you've got someone to hold you accountable, it's like you're not really going to back away. You're not going to be like, oh,
Mm.
I got too busy or it just didn't happen. I guess sometimes it's kind of happened, but
But
like
there's that
more
kind of
times than
that
not,
forward
it's
accountability too, because if you didn't
yeah,
get something done one day, you feel, okay, I didn't get this done today. It's going to be top of my list for tomorrow. Or
yeah,
this didn't happen today, and that's okay, because there's no judgment in this accountability
yeah,
relationship. Yeah, you know, I
yeah.
got no sleep last night. My to-do list is not going to get done in the same way it would if I had a full 8 hours, you know.
Yeah, I think one day your to-do list for the day was like just to survive the day.
That sounds like me.
Yeah.
I think I had just said survive on it once or twice.
Yeah.
And because we are mums at home with our kids all day, trying to run businesses and everything else.
Yeah.
The other thing I was thinking when it came to business and manifesting and the Libra season was, where are our opportunities in our businesses or in your business to work one-on-one? How
Yeah.
can you cultivate that? We'll see where I'm at as Libra season kicks off. But something I've done every Libra season, and then for myself as well, every 7th house season, is to run an incentive or a giveaway on my one-on-one offerings to have that uptick in sales at that time. And this has worked really well, actually. It's been
Yeah.
really successful. October is always my best month for my one-on-one offers,
Yeah.
which it would be anyway. But then you do that giveaway, and we're working with the energy of the
Mm.
sun season when people are looking for that help. So if you're a service provider of any kind, whether you or have a food delivery business or a tarot provider or whatever it is, mundane or magical, your opportunity to work with those one-on-one relationships is going to be heightened in Libra season. So how can you spin that further to your advantage? As I said, I would always
Yeah.
do a giveaway. I would do a
Yeah.
giveaway. If you book with me in this season, you will win usually a nice long session of your choice, and some physical goodies, to cultivate those one-on-one relationships. So little business hack for you there that I found for Libra season that I definitely
Yeah.
got from you, Kyra.
Yeah, I love that. And yeah, like, it's something that I focus on in my business in Libra season is cultivating those client relationships. But I tend to do it a little bit differently. Like, I will focus on, like, sliding into people's DMs and that sort of thing, and just being really present with those relationships. Things like setting up coffee dates, which is something that I've been doing for a while anyway, but like setting up coffee dates with friends or with people that you're maybe getting to know.
Mm.
I've actually met quite a few people, like just through Instagram, and it's like, oh, hey, we're in the same town. We've got these similar interests. If it felt natural, like we've, met up for a coffee. And I don't feel like that's, such a weird thing to be doing in the, 2020s, to be meeting up with random people you meet on Instagram. Like,
That was definitely something
lots of
we were
people
told
do that,
not to
right?
do as children. That were like,
Yeah.
do not meet random people in coffee shops. Like, don't do
Yeah.
that. Don't meet random
Yeah.
strangers off the internet. And now we're like,
Yeah.
hey, let's meet for coffee. But do it in a
Yeah.
public place and stay safe.
Yeah. Yeah, but like cultivating those relationships
Because it
with
doesn't have to be in real
potential
life either.
clients. That's true. And it can
Because
just be
if
online.
you've got an online relationship, you can bring into the corporeal, into a corporeal state. This is a good time for that. It's going to be more easily received. People are looking for connection in Libra season.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not dating, but I just thought, if you're dating, Libra season is an amazing time for cultivating relationships.
Yeah.
This is like, Libra is all about relationships. And if that is something that you're interested in looking into, like, you need to go look at your chart and see what house Libra season falls in, and see what placements you have in Libra to work with this energy even more specifically. Because that's something we haven't mentioned at all, is, how does this season look in your chart, and how can you use
Yeah.
that to advantage? And of course, you can book in with either Kyra, or you can't book in with me at the moment about that, but
Maybe during Libra season you will
Maybe
be able
during
to.
Libra season, like, I mean, it'd be a goal for me to restart my one-on-one offers in Libra season as I'm coming out of maternity leave, that's the goal. But if you're, whatever your goal is, looking to what's happening in your chart for that as well. So
Yeah. And
that's what I was
especially
gonna say.
looking at where the eclipse is falling in on your chart, which is at 21 degrees Libra. I already know that's in my 12th house, which is like all to do with rest and
Oh,
and all that sort of thing. So yeah, this could be a really good
double
opportunity for
checking
me
now.
to
I'm
step
pretty
back a
certain
bit.
it's in my second house.
That does
Oh,
sound about
it's in
right.
my second house conjunct my Ceres.
Oh, very nice. Lots
So of
of
course it's focusing on motherhood for me.
lots of one-on-one, yeah, parenting opportunities for you coming
There
up
we
with this
go.
new
Like
moon.
I said, that second house is all about, like, again, it is associated with Taurus. So we're looking at Venus ruled again.
Mm,
But definitely strong mothering vibes with Ceres, nurture for myself and others at this time. With that eclipse, those will definitely be continued themes. Like, no wonder that was what I was talking about at the start of this episode.
yeah.
There we go. Now we know why.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
But yeah, as you're saying, like cultivating those one-on-one relationships. So if you are in a service providing business or you are client facing, and I mean, we all have, people have to buy from us. Like we need other people to buy from us. So how can you cultivate those relationships? Is it about sharing more of yourself? I mean, a strategy that we know works well is if you put out parts of your personal life on your stories. And obviously you draw the line where that is, what you want to share, but you sharing parts of your personal life and your stories, people interact with that. Someone will send you a love heart or send you a ha or be like, oh, my kid's not sleeping either. And there's an opportunity for you to connect. So what deliberate things can you be doing in Libra season to get those relationships building with your customer base more?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Feeling really good about this season. Just even the little downloads I've got for myself personally, like from my
yeah,
chart and this conversation, like anyway, like I
yeah,
know I can see what I want to manifest this month, and I'm hoping that people listening to this have also had those, and you don't have to have stacks of really profound downloads. You can just be like, no, I want to stop eating dinner in front of the telly. That's what I want to change for my
yeah,
family harmony and peace, and bringing balance to our lives, and screen time and physical connection or whatever it is, or I want to go check my chart and see where this lunation is occurring or whatever it is. You don't have
yeah,
to have any massive profound downloads. There will be something.
yeah,
Something will come to you during this. So then, of course, manifesting involves action. So now you've had the download, you're going to do the reflection. We're starting the season in a waning moon phase. No, we're not. Yes, we are. No, we're not. I've blanked on that. I know that right now it's a dark moon and I'm really tired. No, it's not. It's a new moon. Oh,
we are professional astrologers, we
we
promise
are
you.
professionals. I swear. I swear I'm a professional astrologer. I know what moon phase it is today.
Actually, I was looking this up earlier. Libra season is starting. I think it's like the moon's going to be in the waxing gibbous phase. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're starting the season strong.
We're starting the season strong, but you will spend the first part of the season in a waning phase.
Yeah,
Um, because we'll have that new moon in the middle of the season on the 15th. It give you an opportunity to go, yeah, what does align, what doesn't align, how do I want to change it? But then, yeah, from the 15th, you've got no excuses. It's action, it's go, it's research, it's get it done. Because
yeah,
manifestation is action. It isn't just sitting back wishing you could change things. It's taking the action to do the change. So whatever download you've got from this episode, I mean, we would love to hear it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Like tag us on Insta, send us a DM.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah.
find Sasha at the Pagan Homemaker on
That's
Instagram. You'll find
me.
me, of course, at Kyra Howearth.official. I'll pop all the links in the show notes as well, where you can find both of us. Share a little bit more about both of us in case you don't know much about us.
I mean, if you
So
go
yeah,
and
check the
follow
show notes.
my stories and that, you're gonna like, as even if you watch on YouTube now. I mean, I'm not super exposed, but it's an opportunity for you to get real personal with me in Libra season if you like.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Sasha, for being here for our Manifesting Mama chats. This is so
The
exciting.
inaugural manifesting mama chats. Is the one.
Yeah. So listeners, I'd love to know if you like this segment, if you'd like to see
Definitely
Sasha
tell
back
us.
on the show. Let
And
us know your thoughts.
if you don't want to hear me back, that's great too. Tell me why.
Yeah. Yeah, let us know your thoughts. And if there's anything that you want us to bring up in our future episodes, let us know as well, because that would be really cool to hear.
The intention is definitely to link these to the sun seasons. But if you guys come at us like, hey, I want to hear what you guys think about this, or I want to hear you riff on that, tell us, because we're, we like ideas too. We're here for that.
Yeah.
We're also really susceptible to flattery. So
yeah,
make sure you give us more of that.
Yes, 100%.
And 5-star reviews.
Yes,
so forget
please.
to rate and review Kyra's podcast with 5 stars.
Yes, please. Yes, please. I always forget to ask people to review my podcast. So thank you,
Oh,
Sasha.
I'm not going to forget. This is my Leo rising, just like, hey, don't forget to go and rate me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sasha. And for everyone else listening, and for you too, Sasha, stay magical, stay manifesting, and stay tuned. We'll be back in another episode soon. Bye. And bye, little Remy. Oh my God, he's asleep. He's so cute. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Moon Manifesting Podcast. If you're wanting more moon magic, check out my book, Moon Manifesting. Download your free Moon Manifesting calendar or connect with me on social media. You can do all of that at kyrahowearth.com.au. Stay magical, stay manifesting, and stay tuned. I'll speak with you in the next episode.